Beth and I would like to thank all of you, friends and family, for being here with us today. It's very important to us that you're here, as it's a visual representation of everyone in our lives who loves us, and it makes both our hearts happy. Thank you to my parents for all the love and support they've given both of us throughout this whole process, and just my whole life in general. I wouldn't be anywhere near this point in my life without you. I'd also like to thank Scott and Deb Tacey for thinking that I'm just good enough for their daughter. I'm so glad they get to be a part of your family and be the one that actually genuinely cares when Scott gives tips on how to improve your short game.
I also want to thank Mark and Dana. I want to explain something that Dana said, where she said that she knew I was right for Liam before anyone else. It's because when we were first starting to date, she gave Liam a little knock on the head that we are a good match.
I came on a little strong.
I came on a little bit strong, and she was like, no, maybe it's a good, you should give her a chance. And that is why this wedding is happening today. So,
Thanks, Mom.
Thank you, Dana. And then also thank you to Robert Kirkman, who made the show that brought us together. That song. And then to Mark as well, welcoming me to the family so warmly, and especially in Antigua, which was the best time of my life until today.
So I'd like to take some time to thank all of my groomspeople who agreed to be a part of our wedding, as well as say a bit about each, starting with the odd one out. I met Hannah during my second pull-up term at Waterloo, and we bonded over the fact that we both played the same video game. And over 5 years later, we moved on to slightly greener pastures, but our friendship is stronger than ever. How dare you? Hannah. Oh, wait a second. It's okay. This is how I expected this to go. Sorry, Hannah.
Okay, go ahead.
Hannah. I know being a groomsmaid is a little unconventional, but I'm so happy you're here with me. If not just to make me not the shortest person in my wedding party. There's someone else I'd rather be here, even though you're a mercenary. Thank you. Abdul, better known to me as So, is a friend I met playing games with Hannah. He came all the way from California to be here, be part of Beth and I's special day. So anyone saying that online friends aren't true friends can take a look at So and know that's not true. You're a very special person to me, and I'm glad you came all this way to be here today. Thanks so much for being a groomsman, and also being our free tour guide when Beth and I go on our honeymoon to Disneyland. Max is the only groomsman I've ever had to my school for show and tell, so I think that means he has to be upgraded. When we were kids, Max and I used to hang out all the time. And growing up, I feel like I always related to him a lot. Even when he moved away, I didn't see him as much. Funny story about Max. When my Auntie Krista got married, Max and I were probably around 5, he wanted to play violin at the ceremony as Krista walked down the aisle. As an adult at that wedding, when you see a 5-year-old go out with a violin, you think this kid must be some sort of prodigy. When Max went up there, he played a very slower 5-year-old rendition of Let It Roll. Obviously very cute, but not near prodigy levels, I don't think. But me, I remember looking at him and thinking, this is the absolute coolest kid I've ever seen. And I've been chasing that high ever since. Finally, my best man and my not-so-little brother, Jack. We did basically everything together growing up. We played football on the field and tackle football in the front yard, doing dramatic one-handed catches in the pool, and arguing over who should be the one to ask Mom if we were allowed to play games. I used to think that we fought a lot as kids, but looking back, I think we did all right for ourselves. I think I'm the one that gave you that scar on your forehead, and you didn't just trip, but my memory's still a little foggy on that. I'm forever grateful that you're willing to be my best man. There was no one else who would fit that role other than you. I love you, and I'll be there for you whenever you need me.
my bridesmaids. So Bianca and Christine knew that they were going to be bridesmaids since 5th grade and kindergarten. You couldn't ask for more loyal and trusting people to take care of me today. And there was a little while in high school there where it was like all we had was us three. So like, wouldn't want anyone else up here with me. Jasmine is not there. So she's charming and welcoming and open, and she's the best person I know, and I'll tell her later. Heather has been the best party planner and my point of stability this whole time. I found out in her speech that she like really likes me, which is very nice. I did not think she was gonna cry this whole time. She's like very level-headed usually, and she really cares, and then it makes me cry. I thought I only cry when my dad cries, but oh my god, when Heather cries, way worse.
Here comes Jazzy.
Okay, I'll tell her how wonderful she is.
Around time.
And Dad, you're wonderful.
And
I also have to pee, I'm sorry.
And then I have to thank my parents for keeping it together, keeping me together, and thanking Auntie Pam for keeping you together, and keeping the wedding together this whole time. And now I have to thank Liam. I want to, instead of explaining how wonderful Liam is, I'm going to give an example, which is explaining something that happened during the ceremony, where the song that I came out to, which was Love of My Life by Queen, was a surprise for Liam, so he didn't know that it was going to happen. I picked that song because, as someone said before, when I was living with the Turtles of Muskoka, and I had a really hard time at a party because there was a lot of couples there, and I was without him for a couple months as we've been apart a lot, but it was a harder time. And I told him I had a really hard time at this party. And the day he proposed, he also bought me a record player. And we didn't have a lot of vinyls at the time, but one we did have was Night at the Opera by Queen. It has Love of My Life on it. So he played it for us, and we danced, and he apologized for not being there, even though he couldn't have been, and he completely made up for it. And that's why it had to be that song. So he's the most thoughtful and honest person that you could ever meet, and I cannot wait to spend my life with you. And that's all from me. So Liam will close us out, I think.
Would. So, mine's a lot more scripted, I realized, than Beth's.
Yeah.
So, I guess while I'm up here, I'll also talk with Beth, my lovely wife. I don't think this is going to hit me for a few weeks, at the very least. But I'm glad I don't have to call you my fiance anymore. It just feels very pretentious. Wife's a lot better. I wrote you a letter 4 years ago saying that I would marry you, and I am indeed a man of my word. You are the sunshine that makes my life bright and joyful, and I'll do whatever I can to keep that light with me forever. Anyone who knows Beth knows that when she likes something, she likes it a lot. Whether it be movies or a song or just a place to visit. And luckily for me, she likes me too. So I don't have a glass with her right now, but I would like to make a toast to my beautiful bride, who I love so very much. So everyone raise your glasses, except Beth for obvious reasons. I'm kidding. It was a joke. I'm kidding. Imagine. Anyway, here's to Beth St. Hilaire, to my wedding party, and to all our friends and family. Thank you all.